They're getting people where they need to be every single day. As you know, Governor Lamont and the Connecticut legislature recently passed emergency legislation that suspended fares on public transit buses around the state. From April 1st through June 30th, all public transit buses will be fare-free in Connecticut. Connecticut has one of the best performing bus systems in the country. All throughout the pandemic, our bus systems continue to operate each and every day, bringing people to where they need to be. Bus transportation is clearly an essential service to everyday life for many in our state. It gets people to work, a doctor's appointment, grocery store, or school. Each weekday, there are 100,000 trips happening on these buses around the state of Connecticut. We continue to gain bus riders back as we emerge from the COVID pandemic, and we are now at approximately 75% of pre-pandemic ridership levels. With gas prices rising and the impacts of inflation more broadly to our economy, fare-free buses will provide meaningful relief to our bus riders. Connecticut public transit buses have some of the most affordable fares in the country, but given the cost of gasoline and the impacts of inflation, every little bit helps. Going fare-free for the next 3 months is a way to welcome riders back to the bus and invite new riders to try public transit for the first time. Whether new or experienced riders, we have experts available at CT Rides who can help trip planning and route guidance. Check them out at ctrides.com and give public transportation a try. With that, I'd like to invite Vicki Shotland up. She's the Executive Director for the Greater Hartford Transit District. Vicki?
Good morning. I want to thank the Governor and his staff for inviting me to say a couple words, and Mark, to the Deputy Commissioner and his group, Dennis, I appreciate it also. I want to say that House Bill 5501 is going to be a win-win for all of us, and especially for bus transportation riders throughout the state of Connecticut. I would personally like to address the disabled population in particular, those who are eligible to ride on the ADA paratransit service. The $3.50 cost per trip is a hardship to so many disabled passengers, but providing a 3-month reprieve in regard to a fare-free service is going to be of tremendous assistance, not only financially, but as an emotional boost for those who are struggling in various aspects of their lives. My agency, the Greater Hartford Transit District, is the state's largest transit district, and in actuality, one of New England's largest paratransit providers. Pre-COVID, we carried over 500,000 passengers annually, but currently we are barely at 70% of our yearly average. It's been a slower return for our riders compared to the fixed route bus service, public transit, CT transit. There are varying reasons for those who did not return yet, but cost is certainly a factor, beside the fact that people were working from home. Special needs programs shut down their doors for 2 years. Senior centers remain closed for extended periods of time, and the list goes on and on. With that said, our passengers will return as businesses and programs are recovering and opening their doors again. Since the news about the bill was announced a few days ago, many of my peers across the state are in total agreement. This will certainly be a catalyst to bring the old riders back and hopefully encourage new folks to ride public transit. Thank you.
Thank you, Vicki. Paratransit is certainly an important part of our transportation system here in Connecticut. Now it's my privilege to introduce Governor Ned Lamont.
Thanks, Vicki and Mark and everybody. First of all, a shout out to legislature. Around the country, folks are having a hard time doing anything on a bipartisan basis. And last week, we made it easier for people to vote this coming November on a bipartisan basis. Last week we said make it easier to do outdoor dining, what that does to bring our towns and cities back to life, safer, easier, and fun. People really enjoyed it. Did that on a bipartisan basis. And as of tomorrow, you'll be able to take the bus at absolutely no cost to enjoy that outdoor dining wherever it might be. It's important on a couple of fronts. I mean, we did the free bus service now through July 1st, given the fact that inflation is ravaging our country and world, I might say, and in particular what that means in terms of gasoline prices. So not only on a bipartisan basis to reduce the gasoline tax at 25 cents starting tomorrow through July 1, and had a tax-free sales holiday week starting in the middle of April, but also providing free bus service for everybody, including those with special needs and most in need. And let me tell you, as Vicki suggests, you know, in many cases it's $3.50 a ride or $2 a ride, whatever that might be. Two things by making it free. One, a lot of those single moms, single parents, you know, that could be $6 to and from just to go get your groceries. You know, not for the next 3 months. We'll be able to do that at no cost. It's also incredibly important, I think, in terms of maybe getting some more people using public transportation. And that bus is not totally full, to be blunt, and it's just as expensive to run an empty bus as it is a full bus. So I'm doing everything I can to encourage more people to take public transportation. Save you $4 or $5 a round trip, get you out of the car, less demand upon gasoline prices, better for our environment, and easier for people to get around. I hope these are examples of your government doing everything we can, knowing the hit that people are taking, given the high costs, given the surge in inflation, given what's going on in Ukraine, to make life just a little bit easier. And this is going to be, how was your ride? Was it okay? I like it. It's free tomorrow. Anyway, I don't know what I was going to say, but I think this is a really important for people who are having a hard time getting by, just doing everything we can to make it a little bit easier. This will be a bridge to the new fiscal year, at which point we'll save you a few $100 on your car if you're not able to take the bus. We're going to save you a few $100 on your property tax and make sure that your pensions and 401ks are tax-free. So if you're on a fixed income, life is a little bit easier. Thanks, everybody. Nothing else? Thank you, everybody.